This is Lola Lee T. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? It looks like BlueFace's mom is in her feelings again. So she was on Instagram Live and she said a baby will not keep a man. And I'm just going to guess that she saw the videos regarding Chrisean saying that BlueFace is the baby daddy. But I think Miss Karlissa already knew. So BlueFace mom had a lot to say, and it looks like her husband doesn't like her going on Instagram Live because as soon as he came home, she ended the live quickly. Check out what she had to say.
Said what they said. We can't make it. We can't change what they said. He was talking out his ass. Well, he was talking. You gotta respect what the man say. The man tell he with this one, that's who he want to be with. That's what it is. I'm not fixing to go back and forth about it. That's what he said. Now, if he was over there for Christmas, Thanksgiving, trick or treat, I don't know what else to tell you. Birthday, his birthday ain't got shit to do with the kids. So I can't help you figure that out. And this ain't really about them. This is so y'all know how to deal with your baby daddy. If your baby daddy or your man is over there for every single holiday, don't miss a beat. Don't sit there and say, oh, he just faking it. He love me. Girl, you better wake up and smell that coffee. Now, if a man tell you we fucking and we've been fucking for 10 years, you need to get on down the road because they not going to stop fucking. If they've been fucking, if a man tell you we fucking for 10 years and you keep going forward, you a dumbass. That's going to be your dumbass fault for trying to fuck him out of that fuck. If a motherfucker tell me he been fucking a bitch for 10 years, I'm not finna fuck him. Where is the common sense? Motherfucker tell you, I've been fucking her for 10 years. Come on, man. Then you just gonna say they just fucking for 10 years. Shit, nigga fucking somebody for 10 years. I don't want nothing to do with that. You been fucking that bitch way too long. You can't find nobody else to fuck? Bible says if nigga been fucking you for 10 years, that's your wife. No, they can't be mad at me because I'm telling them the truth. The God's honest truth. Hell, I'm gonna try to date somebody that say I'm fucking with the same person for 10 years. I'm not messing with no man. I wouldn't care if he said I'm digging in her ass for 10 years. 10 years? No, ma'am. I don't want no parts of that. I'm not about to go back and forth with you and you've been going back and forth with her for 10 years. They say when they go in onto you, that becomes your wife. When he go in onto you. So you ain't supposed to be letting all these people go in onto you. Now you got a million husbands all up in you. Where did you see a wedding ceremony in there? And then now I do. No, that's man-made. They said when he went on onto you. Now if nigga going in onto you for 10 years, you his damn wife. Why you gonna try to mess with a man that's been going in onto somebody for 10 years? You got to be a goddamn fool. He done went in onto her. Go look it up. I ain't lying. Go look. When you go in onto you, that's your man. Now, if you want to go share and be side boo, number 2, whatever he call you, that's you respect that. Y'all have to respect that. But if it went in onto her for 10 years, onto her for 10 years, just imagine that. How many of y'all done have somebody go in onto you for 10 years? That's a long time. And ain't no fornication. It said, the Bible said when he went in unto her, that was her husband. That was her man. Ain't no paperwork in the Bible for no marriage. What you talking about? Think Rebecca and Hager went back and forth with the paperwork? I got the marriage paperwork. You got the paperwork? You got the paperwork? No, he went in unto Rebecca for 10 years. That meant, Hager, bitch, when I say go, you got to go. And she had to go. Why? Because he went in unto her first for 10 years. Y'all don't know the story? No, that ain't no excuse. You a goddamn fool. And that's why you don't want to be the goddamn fool, too. I'm telling you from my womanly perspective. I'm not finna go arguing over no D that's going in onto somebody for 10 years and 2 kids. I don't have the time for that. Now, if you got the time for that to be going back and forth about that, you do that. He already said he wasn't marrying her. He told her that. He told the whole world I would never marry her. And they wasn't even mad. Remember, they were shooting a whole music video. And he told y'all, no. He told DDG, he said, no, I would never marry her. Been dealing with each other for a few years. All of y'all done been dealing with somebody for a few years, girl. Talk to me when you at least get to 7. You know how hard it is to stay with somebody past 7 years? Y'all done lost y'all damn minds. You ain't never been with nobody 7 years. You want to talk to me about a few years? Whew, Jesus. Now I wonder why these men is running through y'all like crazy, because all of y'all is crazy. Hager was a slave. Yeah, if you number 2, bitch, you a slave. You didn't know the story? What you thought you was? If you pull up and she already established for 10 years, you's a slave and you asked to be one. Do your job. Do your job and be quiet. I was at 8 years. Girl, bye. You gave up on a relationship after 8 years? Next. Eight years here, hard as fuck. Would you tell her again? Shit, 8 years, I ain't giving up nothing. You gonna have to fight me about mine. 8 years? Nah, we together, boo. We staying together. We together. 8 years? I was with the man for 13 years and never had a ceremony. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, baby. It's going so fast. I can't even see. I wanted to see that. Let me try to scroll back down. You a first baby mama? Yes, ma'am. To all of them. Yes, ma'am. Now, I didn't know Callie's daddy had a daughter before me, but I didn't know nothing about the people. Wasn't no people on site. But for my sons, yes, ma'am. "17 years and not going anywhere." Would you tell these little what it take to get past year 7? Then you got an idiot in here talking about I left after 8. You gave somebody 8 years and dipped. You got to be either slow or he just did not want you, or you thought it was 8 years and it really wasn't. Didn't Rock beat you up? Yep. And didn't my son put her back down? He got my lick back. If you first or last, it don't. First or last, not the first, it don't matter. I didn't understand that. First and only, fuck that. Pretty much, you want to be first and only. That's the goal. But you got some concubines out here that ain't gonna, that's gonna, you gotta be careful because there's some dirt bags out here that don't give a fuck about your years, honey. They gonna pull up anyway. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. It's some real dirt bags out here that's gonna pull up and don't give a damn about your investment, your time that you put in, how many kids you got. It's some people it's some women out here that's gonna pull up on your shit. So you better do right. I've been with mine since 2009. And would you tell them what that took? Please. Because somebody in here said a few years. He been knowing her for a few years. No, unfortunately, they don't do no drugs. My kids are scared of drugs. My mom was a drug addict, and I didn't do no drugs at all. So, no, my kids do not do no drugs. Thank you, Jesus. And hallelujah. Jaden shouldn't keep taking him back. What do you mean taking him back? When did she ever take him back or say they was back together or any of that? You putting words in her mouth. Coming up on 20 years and I ain't going nowhere. Girl, would you tell him? Shit. And I ain't fighting nobody or arguing with nobody about my spot. And I ain't going nowhere. So if one of y'all pull up on Mr. Stafford, you better keep it to yourself. Because I ain't going nowhere. And I ain't looking for you. And I don't give a fuck about you being over there either. If he got a slave somewhere, honey, let it be so. That ain't none of my motherfucking business. I'm going to sit here quietly in my house free and live my life and enjoy my life with my grandbabies. That's what I'm going to do to the end. If he got a slave somewhere, honey, that ain't none of my business, nor do I give a fuck. 26 years. I wish I would. Okay? And they talking about a few years. Girl, bye with your few years. Man, but first of all, if you only known a man a few years, he don't really even trust you yet. You know how long it take for a man to say, I trust you? For him to even in his database feel like he can trust you? It take a man about 7 years before he trusts you. So you just with him up until then. You on probation until about year 5 to 7. Just because a man mess with you and dick you down and he with you, girl, he's not for real yet. He's not going to even take you serious in the database for 5 to 7 years. A man all of that's fake. Y'all mama didn't teach y'all nothing? He don't even like you past till you about 5, 7 years in. He don't trust you. He don't fuck with you like that. Y'all ain't gonna never be like that till you get to that point. And that point for a man is usually around 5 to 7 years. Y'all gotta go through some things. He gotta see your grit. He gotta see your down. He gotta see your up. He gotta see your grind. 2 years. He don't like you. He just fuck with you. You a concubine at that point. Now, when you get to year 5 and 7, even if he marry you in the first 2 years, he really don't fuck with you. But when you get to 5 and 7, he start feeling a little something. But if you don't make it to 5 and 7, honey, you just another girlfriend with a piece of paper. Trust me when I tell you. I done this enough times to know. I'm gonna still be saying this 7 years from now. Hell no, if John's still in 7 years, honey, she with him. If she with him in 5 years, I'm gonna say she with him. But if you pop up and disappear on all of them, that ain't my problem. Putting a baby in us is no trust, y'all. No, none whatsoever. Ain't got shit to do with him and his calculations. That baby ain't got shit to do with his calculations. I'm telling you, you got to go through some grit and some grind with a man before he give you them keys. It's a set of keys. You know what I'm saying? It's a set of keys that he holding on to. It's going to take you about 5 to 7 because he'll walk away in 5. He'll walk away in 4 and you will never see him no more. Baby and no baby and none of that. When you get to 7, he get that scratch like a crack addict and he can't leave. He won't leave. You have to leave. But before that, girl, you deserve. Yes, I have 3. I can tell you the ups, the downs, the ins, and the outs. I was married to Jonathan Daddy for 4 years, honey. I can tell you right now, he don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And a baby will not keep a man. Well, you can already see that. Yes, he definitely needs some time to himself to heal. I ain't supposed to be on here. Mrs. Sappho just walked in, so I gotta go. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
All right, you heard what Miss Karlissa had to say. Now let me know your thoughts. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any hot tea for me, message me on Instagram. I love you guys. Bye.